providers. Let's dive straight in. So I feel like there's not a lot of transparency around this whole how to select a course provider, what exactly they provide, which is kind of counterintuitive given the massive expense and high ticket prices that some of these providers and resources come with. So this is all from my perspective. Obviously, if you are diving into your bar exam journey, please do your research. This is going to kind of cover off my own personal experience and kind of the experience of others that I've kind of picked up as I've been tutoring and speaking to people that have studied for and written the bar exam. So hopefully this is super useful. Okay, so let's start off with the big ticket names. Kind of what do they provide? What do I think their USP is and why you should purchase them? Okay, so when I say big ticket providers, what I mean here is the Barbri, Kaplan, Themis, Pieper. There's millions of names out there, but those are the ones that kind of jump up straight, like come to mind straight away. Basically what these guys do is they will basically provide you with a mini law school. So they'll give you all of the lectures, outlines, black letter law tests, simulated questions, NCBE questions. They basically give you a whole load of knowledge, everything that you will kind of need in terms of content to be able to pass the bar exam. So obviously, needless to say, these providers are super, super useful when it comes to actually learning the law that you're going to be tested on the bar exam, because obviously you've got to be well versed in that. So that's kind of what you'll get with those resources. And obviously, because they're providing you with all that up-to-date information, it's going to come at kind of a high ticket price. Some of these course providers offer additional resources or like kind of join up with other supplemental providers, which I'll get onto in a second. But that's kind of what you can expect. So say, for example, you have never studied US law, for example, or it's been a long time since you came out of law school, or maybe even when you were at law school, there was a subject that's going to come up on the bar exam that you didn't take. This is where these big course providers will come into their own for you, because they're going to give you all of that lovely information. So that is basically where kind of the things you need to kind of consider in terms of what exactly they're going to provide. Now, also one thing that is very useful to consider, which I perhaps didn't consider in as much detail back when I was writing the bar exam and looking at all these different course providers, is actually look at the materials that they're going to provide you for practice. So are they going to provide you with NCBE questions? What proportion of the questions, if they are providing you with NCBE questions, are actual NCBE questions? And how many are simulated in comparison? Basically, the difference here is NCBE questions are the questions that people literally wrote on the bar exam. So in my opinion, they are the most like perfect resources to practice with, because ultimately, if you were writing the bar exam, you could have seen that question. So what better resource to practice with than the actual real questions, I guess. Simulated questions are super, super useful. Basically, with the wealth of information that these providers have, they've created questions based off NCBE questions that kind of mimic what you might see. So obviously they're going to be kind of accurate in terms of what you might expect, but also there can be some variation. And so one thing that's kind of come up as I've been tutoring people is this kind of idea that when they wrote the bar exam, questions didn't look exactly the same if they just did simulated course questions from one particular provider. And that's kind of the worst case scenario for me, because what I want is for you to arrive on bar exam day and everything feels super representative of what you've been practicing with, so you feel comfortable as you're going through. So just in terms of like forwarding that kind of information, that's one thing that I would definitely consider. But generally, that is what you're looking at when you get one of these big ticket course providers. They may also provide you with tutor access, which is also a price that will be factored into cost. So that is kind of the things that I would want to consider when I was looking at a big ticket course provider. Now I'm going to go on to supplemental resources and what exactly you should consider when it comes to them. Okay, so we've talked about bar exam big ticket course providers. Now let's dive straight in and talk about supplemental providers. So what exactly do they do? Who are they? Where do they slot in? So once you've got your big ticket provider, you may want to now look at supplemental providers. For example, if you find that your big ticket provider doesn't provide you with the number of NCBE questions that you would like to practice with. So obviously it's great to use the simulated questions, but it's also super, super useful to then also have supplemental NCBE actual resources. Obviously, you can purchase these from the NCBE themselves. You can find other additional supplemental providers like UWorld, Adaptibar, JD Advising. They've got a load of free resources over there, and Bar Exam Toolbox. And basically what these are is NCBE questions for you to practice with. So the MBE kind of portion of the exam would be UWorld and Adaptibar. And then if, for example, you're looking for essays, definitely look at the NCBE itself. And I'm pretty sure from memory that the Bar Exam Toolbox and JD Advising also kind of cover those off. But obviously you're going to do your research. So yeah, this is just kind of from my perspective, from memory. But yeah, basically what these supplements do is they provide you with the additional NCBE questions that you might actually need. So yes, they're slightly less expensive generally than the big ticket providers, a lot less expensive in some cases. But basically what you're looking to do here is to drill down into practice. So to basically getting yourself familiar so that when you get to exam day, it's super representative, because ultimately what you want is for every single exam question to look familiar to like what you've been practicing with, just for your own comfort and also reassurance, like this isn't a shock to you. So UWorld is a fantastic resource, and Adaptibar, I used both, and honestly, I think they do the same thing, but they just have different approaches in the way that they do it. So for example, if you really love infographics and you're kind of more of a visual learner, I would say that UWorld is a really great resource. So that was definitely me. So I really love the infographics. Kind of when you got a question wrong, you could see exactly kind of what exactly the reason might be in terms of actual black letter law. And then it would also give you the time breakdown. So you could kind of see, oh, maybe I speed read here and like didn't speed read here and got the question wrong because I didn't really focus on what exactly it was asking me. Maybe there was a specific buzzword, for example, that you'll just be able to realize the mistakes that you were making and be able to correct them a bit faster from the insight that they provide you. And then basically, ultimately, it will then produce you all of the questions that you get wrong will go into a massive bank of questions. So you basically get your worst ever MBE that basically you can come back to and take in your own time. And ultimately, you'll then see a massive score increase, hopefully, and that will then be, again, a great confidence boost to you, because you'll now know that all of the MBE questions that were really horrible for you as you were going through bar prep, you can now do an attack and get right, hopefully, or get a greater proportion of them right. So obviously, that when you come to write the bar exam, you've kind of got a really good, solid bank of practice material that you know, I can get this right on bar exam day. Hopefully, this is kind of making a bit of sense there. But anyway, so that's UWorld. Adaptibar does exactly the same thing, although I think it's very good for like audible learners, or like if you like to learn from people talking to you. Again, like this used to be me, but I think I kind of pivoted like through prep, and I just felt like I was getting a lot of information through like written medium, spoken medium. So yeah, Adaptibar is super good. They've got the Jonathan Grossman videos, which everyone loves, hypes about. I actually loved it. Shut up and pick it. So yeah, definitely an amazing resource, and if you like to learn from people speaking to you, definitely pick them up. And yeah, again, similarly, they provide you with the breakdown and insight in terms of the questions that you're getting wrong so that you can get them right on bar exam day. So that is your supplements. And I'm now going to talk about the strategies. So in addition to bar exam supplements and bar providers, which we've kind of covered off in a whistle-stop tour detail, you can also purchase various strategies. And this is basically where you would look at either getting a bar exam tutor or using resources such as Counsel Table and the book Fuck the Bar in addition to that. So basically what these are is helping you know how exactly you should tackle each element of the bar exam to be able to maximize your chances of passing. So what exactly is it that the bar examiners are looking for? How exactly should I present my answers in terms of essays? Should it be IRAC, CRAC, all of that good stuff? MPTs, how should I manage my time when it comes to navigating the resources, writing up the answer? How should I structure the answer? All that good stuff. That's where you're looking at the strategy element, and that is things like Counsel Table and bar exam tutors. So hopefully with all of this, you're kind of getting a picture of what exactly it is you're buying, what exactly it is they're offering to you, and how that will translate into your bar exam prep period. So obviously it's great to use a big ticket provider, a bar exam course, you know, full-fledged everything. It's also really useful to supplement that with various additional supplements. That's like UWorld, Adaptibar, JD Advising free resources, and bar exam toolbox. And then it's also really useful to kind of couple those with what I would call the strategy providers. So that would be a bar exam tutor or Counsel Table. Again, it's worth drilling down into what exactly you're buying to make sure that you're not repeating yourself in terms of what you're actually buying. So are you buying 2 sets of tutors? That would be a bit of a waste of money if you obviously get one with your bar exam provider and then you buy a tutor. Depending, obviously it may well be the case that you've got a tutor that specializes in one specific part of the bar exam, or you know, perhaps they're just not as responsive with your big ticket course provider, so you choose to get a additional bar tutor. These are the kind of things that you should be thinking about anyway. So I would definitely see exactly what it is that your big ticket course provider provides you, if they do, and then look to supplement. One thing that I would actually say, and this is what I really love about the Counsel Table program, is that if you've kind of already got your black letter law good to go, this is where things like Council Table are amazing, like programs like Council Table are amazing, because basically it's teaching you the strategy to passing the bar exam. So like, just like you would get a driving instructor to teach you to learn to drive when you're learning to drive, that's exactly what Council Table does, and it gives you all of the resources that you need. So just like with a driving instructor, they might provide you with the car and the instructor, he will kind of run you through the process. That's exactly what Council Table does. So everything within the Council Table program is basically designed to mimic exam day, so that literally when you write the bar exam, it's literally like doing another day of bar prep. So it's super easy in terms of like, physically you're able to sit and you're not fatigued for the amount of time. You know exactly how to structure the answers, you know how to manage your time, you know exactly what to kind of pull in terms of information when it comes to MPTs to maximize your score. And again, it just provides you with that additional reassurance to know that whatever happens, you have presented all of your bar exam in the way that the bar graders expect to see it. So that is a absolutely whistle-stop tour through bar exam course providers, supplements and strategies, what exactly they are, what exactly you're getting in terms of money. Hopefully this has been super useful to you in terms of insight. If there's anything else that you would like more information on, please drop it in the comments below. I will do my best to monitor them and give you kind of responses as they come up. But super excited for you if you're about to start your bar exam journey. If you would like to study with me, it depends when you're watching this and if I'm still doing it, but for now anyway, I will be tutoring for Council Table's February 2025 bar exam cycle. So if you'd like to study with me, there's information again down below. But yeah, super excited and great to be back. There will be another quick coffee chat coming soon with loads of bar exam and legal careers insight. So please do like, comment, subscribe, all the good stuff. Anyway, you know exactly what to do if you would like to be kept up to date with that. So with that being said, thank you so much for catching up with me today, and yeah, see you at the next one.